Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our F2 22 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we are headed to Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with qualifying as well as a sprint race, and then the feature race being in the next episode. A big opportunity for us here, hopefully to step things up. We learned that qualifying is so important in the last episode with these spec cars, so that's what we're focusing on today, and Jeddah suits me a lot better than Bahrain does, so I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to put up a good effort. Let's go find out what we can do here with the leaderboard, hopefully up in the top 5. So starting our first lap here in Jeddah in the F2 car, I think the first lap's not going to be that great because I don't know any of my braking zones with the Formula 2 car here in Jeddah compared to obviously the F1 cars, so I'm going to brake in a similar spot, and that was actually horrendous, and I don't know how I just didn't get my lap comment validated there for cutting the whole turn 1, but that was terrible. So we've learned already a little bit here now as we head into the little left and right chicane, and then we go through these back and forth sweeping corners, and this car is going to really struggle through here, I can imagine now. I mean, I am having to limp this thing around this S's section, but you know what, overall it really wasn't too bad. I'm a little bit abusive right there on the track limits, however, other than that, we're not too shabby here as we head down into the long sweeping left-hander, get down into third gear, roll back up, and a little bit of oversteer right there. We do counteract it relatively well here, and we continue on, but I mean, it's not terrible so far, but definitely a lot of room for improvement right now on the board, which is a good thing. All right, here we go towards the next little chicane, and wow, I completely missed my braking zone on that one. However, that was obviously the worst one so far. Final turn, a brake at the 100. Is that enough? Yeah, I'm able to get it slowed down pretty well right there. Hard on the throttle. That's something I got to remember. With the Step 2 car, you can get a lot more aggressive on the throttle right off the bat on the exit of the corner to the line. It was abysmal. Somehow we beat our team at Avesti. We're going to run one more lap because I think we got enough tire in it still to make some improvements, but obviously there is still some work to be done as we continue, and actually we're going a little bit slower here down towards the next corner, so far not even tracking better, which is a little bit alarming because it felt like we got through turn 1 quite a bit better originally. However, not quite the case so far here as we now gain a couple tenths of a second, so there we go, that's what we're looking for. Into the final braking zone again at the 100, overshooting that final turn a little bit. Yep, that was a bit of a sloppy one. Not very good final hairpin, but you see purple sector 1, purple sector 2 to the line. I think it's going to be pretty competitive. Maybe P1. Yes, it is. Look at that. 141.4. I mean, it was an alright lap, but I don't think it should have been quite that good, but we'll wait and see what happens here. So I'm going to take a risk and not go out for one final time. I think I'm going to turn the AI up for the race, so it looks a little bit too easy because look at that. We're going to be P1 pole in Jeddah. Same AI difficulty I ran in Bahrain. I feel a lot more comfortable with the car here in Jeddah. So, I mean, obviously the pace is going to be better, but definitely I'm going to turn the AI up by a little bit here as we get ready for the Grand Prix here in Jeddah. Let's go to the grid.
Greetings and welcome to Jeddah for what promises to be a thrilling Formula 2 race. So let's examine the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, this has the potential to be a very challenging track for our young F2 drivers. We'll get a good chance to see which of them have been able to best capitalise on their time spent here in practice earlier this weekend. And like the other street circuits on the calendar, the lack of runoff is going to make sections of this track very punishing if the drivers get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid having to bring out the safety car this time around. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Well, there you have the grid, and I just realized I forgot about it, but we do have, yeah, they reversed the top 10, do they not? So we're starting P10 from the grid here, as we're going to get ready to go lights out. So we're going to have a little bit of work to do. Let's make it happen.
The formation lap gets underway for this, the Formula 2 race, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure the car is ready for battle once the lights go out. We are almost ready to start the Formula 2 race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Alrighty then, we're ready to go. Lights out here from Jeddah, and it's gonna be lights out here, and it's not a great start again for the sprint race here. We're gonna lose a little bit of ground on the run down into turn one right behind Logan Sargent, what is maybe gonna be the new Williams driver now that they have confirmed if he gets the super license points. He will be alongside Alex Albon next season. That's not the concern right now. We're alongside Caldwell here as we head down into the braking zone. They're a little bit aggressive on those track limits as usual here. Wheel to wheel through the S section up into P11 we go. So we make up a little bit of ground here. Reverse grids, of course, I'm not sure. It's still relatively new to me, but I'm not sure. Does this carry over as well into the feature race, or is it just a sprint race only? Will I be back on pole in the feature race? I would certainly like to know right now, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to send one on the inside of Bullock Bassi. I know I probably botched that name. I'm still trying to get better at these names, but there we go, up into P10, so we can get those elbows out. I have turned the AI up quite a bit here because I was running the same AI difficulty that I was running in Bahrain. However, oh my god, what a save that was right there. But however, we are a lot faster here on the same AI that we were at in Bahrain, where we struggled quite a bit here, as I don't know if I want to take the risk of going side by side, but I'm at least going to keep my nose there. But yeah, that was a very big moment, and now we're going to settle in and try and find a way back past Bullock Bassi here, as we got that slipstream. He has no slipstream to work with, so he's kind of, you know, not really able to defend very much, and there we go, around the outside, down into third, second, and just get that momentum on the exit of the corner. Power down hard. You really got to get the power down in this car. And look at this. Now we're going to be the sitting duck that we can't do much on the defense here. The conclusion of this first and opening lap. You want the inside, you can go and have it, but I'm not giving you this right side of the track now, as we're going to be side by side into the braking zone. I hear some contact in behind us. I keep slowing down like way too much. I don't get rolling enough or early enough there in turn two, I've noticed. But there we go. Overall, a pretty decent first lap. You know, we started P10, we dropped down a few spots, and then we made them back up, and now we have the final, you know, 8 3/4 laps to try and get ourselves a little bit further and closer to the front here with the time we have remaining. Bullock Bassi is actually all over me again here now down the straightaway, and all of a sudden we're about to be under attack here into the braking zone, and I don't have a whole lot of a defense over him other than just trying to out drag race him here through the final turn, get that power down again, and there we go, we stay ahead. Really nice final turn, and I think we have enough momentum to carry us down into turn one ahead of him, and hopefully this lap here, 8 laps to go already, we can now kind of focus in on running down Daruvula now. Into turn one we go, and I overshoot the braking zone by a mile, so that was pretty embarrassing. That was a big moment right there, but we held on to it. Now we're just kind of trying to get going here and run this gap down between myself and Daruvula. Oh, I'm abusing the track limits way too much right there. We somehow don't get called for it. Even on strict, somehow they do not call you for it there. Now within the DRS range, we're going to get that rear wing open here, and there we go. And see if we can get a little bit closer to Daruvula now as we're going to head into the chicane, down to 5th, into 4th. Got through there really well, hard on the power, and we continue to close that gap and then reopen that rear wing, and we're continuing to bring Bullock Bassi into the fight with us. Maybe 12th place of Caldwell might even have an opportunity as well here. Now back into the final hairpin, and I've been setting it right here. I've been just going way too deep every time, and I've just kind of involuntarily doing it. Look at the ground we just gave up to Bullock Bassi. Thank goodness we stay within the DRS, so that way we might not get past. Hold on, he has a run down into turn 1. I don't think he's going to be close enough to take it. No, we're going to be just fine. So we are pretty close to Daruvula now, as it was purple sector 1, and we're gonna just kind of cruise down into the braking zone. I really got through there nice and comfortable. A little bit hesitant on the throttle on the exit right there. Just didn't feel that comfortability I was looking for right there. Now into the chicane, that was an absolutely horrendous apex right there. But you know what? Oh my goodness, a big moment right there, big error, and all of the gap that we had just closed is absolutely destroyed, and now we are side by side with Caldwell here as we head down into the braking zone, and hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Oh my god, I nearly absolutely destroyed Caldwell right there as we continue in this little scrap right here. I just put it into the barrier a little bit here, and I'm trying to leave them the space that they are entitled to. They continue right on my right rear. What a battle we're actually having right here now as we go down into that braking zone, and again, bit of a lock up there. We're gonna get the power down on the exit of the corner. I don't have DRS this time, so need to get aggressive here. We have such a good car. We clearly have a good car, good pace, but I am choking, making mistakes this time. This time we're not lacking pace, we're lacking talent. Wheel to wheel into the braking zone in turn 1, hard on the brakes. Continuous battles here in Jeddah. What an absolute beast of a racing product we have right here with this F2 combination. We are still side by side into now the next corner, trying to leave the space here without, of course, causing issues. And there we go, back up into P11, not where we want to be, and I know we're capable of significantly better here in Jeddah. Let's go see if we can get back to Bullock Bassi. That was terrible on the track limits right there. Man, this is absolute beast to drive around here. We are so close to that DRS range, but I think by the time we get to this front straightaway, we are going to be lacking that DRS still. And oh my god, Caldwell still has a DRS. I completely forgot about them now, as that was a better final hairpin. And oh, okay, we're still just barely in the DRS. Actually, Caldwell with a very respectable exit out of the corner, and now I'm trying to make sure that they don't get an easy move on me here into turn 1, but they're going to, as they're going to be all over my rear diffuser. But I think we're actually going to be okay. Yes, we are. They're going to stay put in behind me, and Bullock Bassi is about to be under threat here from myself again, as we continue to set a very solid pace. We are all over the back now of Bullock Bassi. We're just basically waiting for the opportunity. They are actually struggling really hard here now, as I'm practically running into the back of them here now. No damage, I don't think. I hope not. Here we go for the move. They are clear. Oh, I was gonna try and go for one around the outside right there. I think I still am, actually. Let's see if we can make this happen here. Nope. Okay, hold on, I'm not done yet. Let's do a little bit of switchback right here around to the left side, and I think we're gonna just make sure we kind of send it into this corner. And oh goodness gracious, I just wanted to make sure I was clear, and sure enough I did. Oh, I'm gonna lose it again. That's the second time we have made that same mistake right there, back into the top 10, and there it was. We can't keep doing this, of course, if we're gonna get a good result here today. Here comes Yuri Vips here, trying to make a move as well now, as Caldwell is all over the back of Bullock Bassi here as we continue to scrap it out. And what an absolutely epic scrap this has been in just this 10-lap sprint race. Imagine what the feature might be setting up to be here now, as we have an absolutely monstrosity of a run. Caldwell with the move into the braking zone, a lockup right there from Bullock Bassi. That's going to set myself up very well to be able to complete the pass, hopefully, here on Caldwell down at the front straightaway. They have DRS wide open though, so it's not really going to benefit us here. Now we're going to have to stay put just for a few more moments. I am all over the back of Caldwell here to the braking zone. Do I try and go around the outside again? I could, but I'm not going to be able to, as I make a mistake. So we're going to stay put for another moment and wait for that DRS, and then we're 5 seconds between myself and Daruvula, so there's no way we're gonna go run down Daruvula here in these, you know, final, oh goodness, 3.5 laps, but the move is gonna have to wait a little bit longer. I am struggling really hard here with handling of this car all of a sudden, but now DRS again wide open, but it's going to be the next DRS straight, I think, when we get Caldwell. The opportunity is going to be right here. Caldwell powered down. He's got no DRS. Yuri Vips is actually closing the gap, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to try and get alongside Caldwell right here into turn 1. There's the run, and there's the 100 marker hard on the brakes. Oh, we've had contact, the big error right there. I completely locked it up. We've done wing damage as well to Caldwell. That is 100% my fault right there. Somehow no penalty as we continue to try and leave the space, and all the time we did have to leave the space, and we didn't leave enough there for Caldwell, and I drove basically straight into them as I locked the car up, or locked the wheels up there, and now this car is not very happy with that. This has been quite the dramatic event here in this sprint race in Jeddah, and not in a good way for us, because we've had, in my opinion, pace to go for an easy podium, maybe even a race victory, and we have had nothing but errors, and another one adds to the list right there with 3 laps to go. Yuri Vips is all over us here with the DRS. It's going to be 2 laps to go. I think we're going to have him held off for this straightaway right here into turn 1. However, from this point on, a little bit later in the lap, I don't know what we're going to be able to do. The damage in this car seems to be slowing us down a little bit, not too much, but, you know, Yuri Vips is still very close. Yellow, we got a yellow flag. It's behind us somewhere. I'm not quite sure what has happened. It looks like from the track map, I'm going to assume it is a mechanical failure for one of the drivers here now. Let's wait and see who it is momentarily. Oh, it's Liam Lawson. Rip Liam Lawson now coming to the final lap, and he's going to be out of the sprint race here now, and you can see Yuri Vips, I think, is going to actually maybe get me here into this final corner. No, he's not. So what happens in the turn 1? That's the new question here. Into the braking zone. Another yellow. What's going on here? Oh my goodness. I just absolutely stomped on it in front of Yuri Vips, but where was the yellow? I don't know what's going on. I think it looks like out of the final turn, I do see somebody slow. So white flag in the air. I think we have a second mechanical failure here. Is he going to send one up my inside? No, he is not. And sure enough, we hold on for the time being, and it's Williams. Callan Williams is going to be out of the Grand Prix at the end. So all of a sudden, in about half a lap, we just lose 2 drivers here, starting the final lap in the sprint race in Jeddah, and now it's a duel between myself and Vips here to hold on to P10 now as we come through the SS1 final time, going through here quite cautiously, not trying to take too much risk. 0.7 of a second ahead, and we just didn't have the pace, you know, obviously after we were able to finally get out here in P10 to really go run down Daruvula or anything. However, I think for the actual feature race, there's going to be some very promising pace in this car, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's just really all going to be about that start. We really need to make sure that we get a good start in that race. Oh, no way. Did I just really do that again? I have absolutely thrown here today in Jeddah. This has been an embarrassing day. And now he's got DRS, so he's going to pull away from me because I have no momentum on my side. There's no way I'm going to be able to complete this pass on Yuri in the final corner because we are too far behind. What an absolutely just disappointing start to this weekend here in Saudi Arabia. I know we are better. I know we are capable of doing better than this, and we're going to prove that in the feature race because it was an absolutely abysmal sprint race when we have way more pace than what we showed. DRS open one final time. Coming to the line, it's going to be P11. So some work to be done in that feature race. Wow, that was so disappointing.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you at Parc Fermé.
A great win then for the Prema team today. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground, when your opponents make mistakes. But then not make mistakes on your own. You can just push and push.
It looks like it's time for the victory ceremony once again, as I can see the drivers beginning to make their way out for the celebrations. You can see it on their faces. It's another marvellous team win for Prema today.
So Dennis Alger with the victory right there. Novalak, Dragovic, and Sato and Duhan in the top 5. We got P11 as tail chair. So, you know, disappointing. It's not even the top 10 to get points, but I wanted to be in the top 10 anyways. But it's P8 and above that get points here in F2. So it's a rough start to the season. 2 points so far. I'm not concerned, obviously, because we have really good pace, and in the next episode we will be kicking off the feature race here in Jeddah, where, like I said, I think we're gonna have some good pace there and be able to pop off. So I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everybody.